What is up, guys? Welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge. If you're new here, I started off with $1. I'm trying to work my way up to $1 million, trying to get 1% profit every single day on my portfolio or my bankroll. So I started this challenge off at $1 and I've been doing it for 375 days so far. And I'm trying to get 1% profit every single day. Basically, I sports bet, I invest, and if we don't get our 1% profit goal, then I gamble to get the rest. That's pretty much how it works. But this is a little bit of a different video. If you're a returning viewer, I want to do a little bit of an analysis, a little bit of a discussion in the first half here, and then we'll do some gameplay at the end of the video trying to get our 1% profit goal. But I had a comment recently. Well, you can probably tell by the title of the video, it's going to be a crypto discussion, and I'm going to be buying the dip. But before we hop into that, there was a comment recently that said Bitcoin has dropped significantly recently. Why is your tracking sheet not showing that? This challenge doesn't seem legitimate. And if you've been watching me, you realize that I try to hide what's going on live because I play a little bit backwards. I do all this stuff and then I have to compile everything to record. So for that purpose, let me unhide these rows down here. So right now we're on day 375 of the challenge, but in real time it's on day 386. So Bitcoin this is back from January 24th, didn't drop that much and it's been tanking recently. So right now, as of today, my Bitcoin is at $733 and I put about $1,000 into it. So I am down like almost 30% in Bitcoin. And I'll get into that in a little bit here soon. But yeah, I track this every single day. I track all my numbers every day. I have to, obviously, with all this stuff going on here, I have to track everything to make sure I'm doing everything correctly, right? But what I want to talk about today is going to be taking place on day 386. And I usually talk about each day in continual progressions as it's like going through the process. But I'm going to jump a little bit ahead because since Bitcoin and crypto is taking a big hit, I want to buy the dip today. So I'm going to do some stuff live on video to show you guys kind of how the background process works, just so I'm not updating numbers on my sheet, and kind of walk you through my mentality and like why I'm making this decision. So if we look at our casino apps, our crypto holdings here, I track everything at the top here. You can see all these different apps I use. So in Fanatics, this is where it's gonna come into play. I have $179 and you'll see this drops because I'm withdrawing money here. And then same with USDC. I'm gonna be withdrawing my USDC balance here. So let me show you that. And we're gonna be adding more money to the crypto. So right now it says $0, but we're gonna update that on video today as I make some purchases. Okay, so I withdrew all of my USDC. I use Coinbase to hold that USDC, so I withdrew all of it. We had $138.86. So I withdrew that, and then also on Fanatics, I withdrew $61.20 just to get a flat $200. So we pulled from accounts that we already had a balance in. I'm trying to move that over into crypto and invest it because right now it's just sitting in those different apps, and I actually want to put it to work, especially with the dip right now. I want to buy the dip. So there's my withdrawals, and we're gonna hop into Robinhood and go on from there. All right, so we're in Robinhood, and this is where I hold my crypto for the challenge. So I used to use Coinbase, but I would commingle the challenge funds with my personal crypto. So I figured I should just like separate it completely and use Robinhood. I'm not the biggest fan of Robinhood, but I like Coinbase better, okay? But I just use it to separate my funds for the challenge. Either way, I was looking into a couple of different crypto currencies, and here's the deal. I guess I'll walk through this real quick. So if we look at Ethereum, I just went back for all the ones I'm going to talk about for 1 year, okay? And crypto is taking a big hit. So over 2025, you can see it hit a peak, and you'll see this pretty much through all the currencies I'm going to talk about. But right now we're on this like big dip. So this is Ethereum. But the biggest thing here is if you look back to April 8th of 2025, it was like $1,400. Right now it's at like $2,150. So it's not its lowest point in the past year. I mean, over the past 5 years, I say it's been pretty flat. It goes up and down, but it's pretty consistent. So I don't think Ethereum's like a great deal right now. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And then the other ones I was looking at was Solana. Now with Solana, the reason I'm not doing this one is purely because the staking, so you can stake crypto, and I'll get into that in a second with XRP. But this is looking at the 1 year chart for Solana, and you can see in April 7th, 2025, it was down to like 106, and right now it's $91. So it's at a 1 year low, 365 day low, and overall over the past 5 years, it's up pretty good, but it's not the best price right now. So the way I'm trying to look at this, try to explain it when it comes to crypto or investing, is when markets dip, they take a turn for the worse. You gotta look at that as like a sale, okay? Everything's on sale. So I'm looking back and saying, well, I'm basically able to buy this crypto right now at different prices, better prices. So over the past year, this is XRP. You can see over the past year, the lowest point was $1.80 pretty much. Right now, it is at $1.50. So it's the lowest it's been in the past year. I think that's a good deal, right? If you're buying a TV or a car and it's as cheap as it's been in the past year, you'd rather buy it now than at the peak, right? So I don't want to get like too much into this and get like super technical, but I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts. This is the past 5 years, so it's up overall in the past 5 years, but still I think at a good price right now. And then if it keeps going down, we'll buy more. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I don't want to put too much into this stuff now, but I definitely want to get my hands involved with XRP. So I think I'm pretty bullish on it, obviously, if I'm putting money into it. But I'm going to put $150 here. It's going to take a spread of about 0.8%. So I'm going to lose about $1.30 just from fees. But you can see I have $200 available. That's the money I showed you guys I withdrew. So I'm going to purchase that. And that should go through pretty easily there. Just like that, we got $150 of XRP. Now you can stake this. I'm not sure if it's gonna let me do it on the desktop version. I usually use this on my mobile phone, so I know you can stake it though. And then you can get rewards for holding it as a staked asset. So there's our purchase, $150. But yeah, I don't know if I can stake it on here. I'll have to probably do it on my phone. But looking at Bitcoin too while we're at it, I think XRP you can stake for like I think you get 4.4% annually for staking it, where Solana is like 2% maybe. So that's why I went with XRP, because you can stake it for higher rewards. And then let's go to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin in the last year, you can see its lowest point was $76,000 back in April of 2025, and right now it's at $73,000. So it's the lowest it's been in the past year, 365 day low. And over the past 5 years, you can see it's a pretty good price from where it's been recently. So I kind of like that. We already have $1,000 and I think $1,050 invested. So we're down money, and I'm gonna just put the rest of my money into this now. Try to lower my price of Bitcoin. So there we go. That should be bought. Yeah, that should be good. Only 50 cents left. Okay. So during my challenge, I started this back in January 25, and I started buying Bitcoin in April. And you can see, I started buying it in July. So you can see July was like the highest point of Bitcoin. I bought it all throughout here, and mostly at that peak. This whole section here, I bought Bitcoin, and I bought a little bit in December when it dropped, but since then I haven't bought much. So I want to get into it while it's so low right now, because I'm getting a better deal. But yeah, I bought it like all up here, which is unfortunate. But when the markets dip, you put more money into it. That's the way I look at it. So we go back over to our crypto. You can see we now have $854, and that's a mix of our Bitcoin and XRP. So that's where we're sitting at. Yeah, what are we at right now? $905. I think I just said something different, didn't I? I don't know. We're at $905 though. So what I'm gonna do with that number is enter that into our tracking sheet and show you just how that's how it all flows. All right, so I come in here every day, I find this number and I just throw it in my tracking sheet, and that's how everything works out. Okay, so back into our tracking sheet, I'm gonna enter that 906 right here, and I'm gonna change this column to crypto because it's not just Bitcoin anymore. So we can see that's updated to crypto now, and we withdrew our USDC, so I'm gonna put that to 0, and then our Fanatics went down. I already updated this, went down 62 bucks there. So, and then these empty columns here, these empty boxes, I just have bets that are placed currently, so I'm waiting for those bets to either cash out, or if they don't win, then I'll enter the balance of those accounts at the end of the day. So that's pretty much how I track everything live, and I hope that all makes sense. A little bit complicated, but yeah, I just wanted to buy the dip, lock in some cheaper prices, and crypto might continue to go down too. So that's why I'm not moving over like way more money. I could be moving over, be pulling out, a couple hundred more for sure with my other accounts, but it might just keep going down. It might go down for another 6 months. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in now, and then hopefully it goes back up and we make some money. If we don't and it keeps going down, then I might throw more money into it in the future. But just throwing a little bit in now, trying to lock in those cheaper prices, and then we'll keep pushing forward. So that's the plan. And I've talked about starting an investment portfolio like in the stock market, not necessarily just crypto. I've been talking about that a lot recently. The reason I have been holding off on that is mainly for our bookmaker account. So I put a lot of money into bookmaker to get a sign up bonus. That's this first column over here. But I have to wager that money. I have to play through a lot of it before I can withdraw it. So it's kind of locked up. So until I can actually wager through all this, I have to keep placing bets. I have to do a lot. So once I can wager through all that, I'm gonna withdraw most of it, and we're gonna start an investment portfolio. But I've been talking about that a lot, and I figured I could throw a little bit into crypto now and just keep waiting for the investment portfolio in the future. But yeah, no, I've been talking about that for like months, and it still hasn't happened. And I don't want questions like, wait, why are you putting more money into crypto when you've been talking about this investment portfolio? But I want to have like probably $500 maybe at least to throw into an investment portfolio, and we just don't have the liquidity right now. We have to keep money in our different sports betting apps and casino apps to be able to continue doing stuff in the background, right? But that's enough analysis, enough discussion. I hope that all kind of makes sense. That's just my thoughts. And yeah, I just want to explain those things. Instead of just doing them off camera and be like, hey, I did this real quick. Boom, let's move on. I'm trying to be a little bit more thorough with my journey. Try to talk about it a little bit more on camera. I get a lot of comments, so I feel like it's good to discuss stuff better on video than just try to reply to every single comment. But yeah, that's the game plan. So right now we're sitting on day 375. Again, we're playing behind, but I'm just gonna leave this here. I know it looks a little bit messy, but yeah, we'll catch up. So this is live down here, but this is where we're at on getting our 1% every single day. We still have to go through these days here. But day 375, we're sitting at $3,942, which we dropped like $11 since the last video. And to show you guys our bets, those are the bets we placed for the day. We unfortunately lost sports betting, not a ton of money, but we went down a little bit. So there's proof that I placed those bets. And then coming back to the sheet here, I think, yeah, we had no bonuses for the day, and Bitcoin was flat at this point. So we just lost some money sports betting. Our 1% profit goal would be $39.42 on our total portfolio here. But since we lost a bit of money, we have to get $50.72 in the website today, gambling, and our stop loss would be $157. So let's hop to the website and see if we can make $51 and get our 1% profit goal for the day. All right, coming into the website here, we have our $157, 4% stop loss, trying to get 1%. Not VIP. I wanted to show you guys this too. Just, we do have the rest of our money in the vault here, 687, for transparency purposes. Like I said, that there was someone that commented in the last video was like, dude, what if this guy just loses all the time? He was new, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. He's like, what if this guy just like loses all the time and keeps adding money and stuff, and like there's no proof of anything? I'm like, dude, I know you're new here, but I've been tracking everything on video for like a year now. So if you think I'm not playing this legitimately, then I don't know what to tell you. But the real ones, the ones I've been here for a while, you guys know I do everything legit. And the whole point of my challenge is obviously to, I say this all the time. Well, I haven't said it recently because I know it gets kind of old, but the point of my challenge is to make $1 million without risking my own money. That's like the whole concept, is to try to get to $1 million without risking or losing any of my own money. So using my own funds if I lost and stuff, which I put everything on video anyways, but that would defeat the purpose of my challenge. And I was going to do this without recording it, and I was getting pretty low. I was going to do this anyways without recording it, but I figured I'd record it for YouTube just to make a series, because I was wanting to post YouTube videos, and it would hold me accountable, because if I'm actually showing what I'm doing every day, then I can't really cheat. I mean, I guess I still could probably. I don't know, dude. It's not that real. It's not that complicated. I'm going for a 10x here. Trying to start off with a good hit and not getting super lucky. It's up to $4. Oh, all right, $5. There's a good hit. Try this one more time. Again, we're going for $50 here. Okay, we're at $20. I'm gonna go one more time. I'm gonna be a little bit risky with it. This can get pretty low though, pretty quickly. It's up to $3. Let's go up to $4. And $5. All right, up to $31. We still need $20. That's not too bad. We're getting pretty close. All right, let's go into a different game. All right, coming into blackjack here. We're up $31. I'm gonna do some $5 bets on originals blackjack. See if we can get. All right, bro. Come on now. Come on now. All right, we're doing that. I'm going up to $10. 221s off rip. It's pretty gross. 15 against the 3. I'm gonna stand on that. Come on, just bust. That's crazy. That's nuts. All right, we lost a lot of profit already. We have 2 8s against the 10. And that is a split. 8 ace against the 10's a stand. And a 10 against the 10 is going to be just a hit. We have 2 19s. Okay, we're back. We're back to where we came into blackjack at. We have a 9 against the 3. That's a big win there. It's a big win. 9 against the 3 is a double, it's saying. We're on a $10 bet. All right, let's rip it. 19, come on. We gotta pull this through. $51. That's what we needed for the day. That's what we needed for the day. Whew, that was a little bit of a tight one there. I got kind of scared we were gonna just get decimated. But yeah, that double right there at the end there, and the 2 19s we got on that split were pretty nuts. So we're gonna take that, and we're gonna enter that $51 profit into the sheet and move on to the next day. All right, so day 375 was a win. We got our 1% profit goal. We got $51. So we hit that 1% goal. Pretty sick. We've been on a pretty good win streak recently. Moving on to day 376. We have our sports bets for the day, which I'll show on screen right now. They had some pretty good wins today. I think we had some futures payout, which was back from January 25th, 2026. So that was pretty sick. Pretty good day sports betting. I think we actually lost. I don't know if I missed a bet on here. I didn't track it correctly, or I know we played some futures too. But looking at our sheet here, you can see like Fanatics went down $100. Bookmaker went down 60, but then our futures went up $100 too. I can't remember exactly, but I think I placed a futures bet on Fanatics. That's why that $100 switched over. But if I lost money on Bookmaker, then I didn't show that bet. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But it looks like we lost 60 bucks there. So I either didn't show that bet or I placed futures and didn't keep track of the futures. Those are the two options there. So we either have more money than we should, and I just am not recording that correctly, or I missed some bets that I lost. One of the two. Bitcoin went down like 30 bucks, and then we also have some bonuses for the day. We had $10 total in bonuses, which could show this one was at least $5 here. So we'd have $5 deposit bonus on FanDuel. I show anything on camera that's $5 or over. So I put accidentally $1 on a 1.01x, which cashed out. But then I realized I need to do $5 to wager to be able to cash it out and keep that bonus. So I had to place another bet at $4 to make sure I wagered $5 total. And then that cashes out a 1.01x. Even though it flew away, we still cashed out and hit that. So looking at our tracking sheet, you can see that we need to, well, I guess we're at $4,006. So we hit a new peak balance, pretty big milestone too. So our 1% profit goal should be $40.06, but we already had some profit on the day. So I need to get $27 to make our 1% profit goal. So it should be hopefully an easier day than usual. See if we can get it. Let's hop on the website and see if we can profit 1%. All right, coming back on the website here, let's deposit some money in the vault. So we have $208, but we only need to use 160 as our 4% stop loss today. So let's deposit $48 into the vault. That gives us our 160 to work with. Reset the live stats, and I guess since we're already here, let's start off with a $10 bet. 6 ace against the 9. What is that? It's just a hit. 15, we're gonna have to hit that again. 19, not bad. All right, that's a good start. I really don't want to push our luck on blackjack, so I'm gonna hop out of here. All right, coming over to dice. We haven't done dice in a long time, man. I'm gonna start off with I think 80-cent bet. I think that'll be our starting bet size. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to roll over 25. If we get a loss, I haven't played this in so long, I'm trying to think. We either double it twice, go for a hit, or I think we just double once, go for 2 wins. Let's see how this works. So we gotta we'll just keep going for wins. Once we get a loss like that, we get 1 win, and then I think we double this up to 160, we go for 2 wins. So we lose that, we stay at 160, we hit that, we double this up again, we lose that, we hit, so we're gonna double it up to 640, go for 2 wins, we lose that, so we gotta hit the green, double up to 1280, and we lose that. Okay, it's getting a little bit nuts. We're up to a $25 bet, go for 2 wins. Let's bring us back down to like $6. Good thing we brought it down, we lost. Okay, let's go back up to 1280, go for 2 wins. We lose that, go up to $25 again, go for 1 more win here. Okay, let's bring us back down to like $6. And where are we at here? Where do we start at? 10.99. Okay. All right, so we're in profit. Let's go back down to 80 cents. This is kind of scary, man. Kind of scary. All right. 4 losses. All right, so we're gonna double this up to 160. Go for 2 wins. We lose that. Let's go 320. We lose that. We lose that again. We lose that again. We hit the green. Let's double this up to, I'm gonna go up to 1280. Go for 2 wins here. And let's go back down to 640. And I think we're up to $13. Let's drop us down to 320. We lose that. We lose that. Double us up to 640. Lose that. We lose that. We lose that. We lose that. Oh, it's so tough. We're up to a 1280 bet here. Go for 2 wins. I mean, that doesn't even do anything. We gotta keep going for more. All right, let's go up to $25. Okay. Let's bring us down to 1280. All right, bring us down to 640. We lose that. Let's double this up. Okay, this is getting really stressful, man. 1280. We lose that. 2560. We lose that. $51 bet. All right, 1280. We're up to 15 bucks. This is extremely stressful. I think my bet size might be a little bit too big for this. Whew, my heart's racing, man. My heart is racing. Let's go. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this. Let's start with 320 and see if we can get this up to like 20 bucks in profit. Maybe we'll go to like 160. Double this up, go for 2 wins. Let's go back down to 160. Alright, we're up to 20 bucks in profit. Dice is being really stressful, man. I don't know if I can keep doing that. We still need 7 bucks for the day. So I'm gonna hop out of here and we'll try a different game. Alright, coming over to diamonds. We're gonna run our down bear strategy starting off with 50 cents and try to work this up to $7 in profit. So all we're doing here is every time we get a loss, we're going to add a unit, and every time we win, we'll decrease until we're into profit. So getting some good wins to start off with. Once we get a loss, we're gonna add 50 cents, and we'll keep adding 50 cents until we get a win, and then we'll decrease when we need to. So there's a win right there. I think that brings us to, yeah, that's profit. Let's go back to 50 cents. Up to $1 here. 150. $2. 250. And that $23.95. That brings us in a profit. All right, cool. So back to 50 cents. We'll restart. And the strategy has been cooking, dude. I'm telling you, we've been running this so much and we've been making some good money on it. I'm sure we'll hit a time. That's a really good hit. A $2 bet on a 5x. That's pretty sick. But there's gonna be a time where we probably bust on this, but so far it's been working really well. That's actually our profit goal for the day. We got $29.55. We only needed $27, so I got a little bit extra. Good stuff, man. A little bit of a stressful day on dice there. We got down to like a $50 bet at some point, so I didn't really like that. I haven't played dice in a while, and I guess that's why. It can either go really smooth or get really messy with that strategy, but either way, we're gonna enter our $29 profit into the sheet, and we'll wrap up the video. All right, so day 376 was a win. We got our $29.55 in profit, so we hit our 1% profit goal, a little bit over actually. And overall in the video, we went up, let's see here, started on day 375, up 93 bucks on the entire video between 2 days there. We had $10.40 in bonuses, and then out of that $93, $80 of it was from gambling today. So pretty darn good day right there, man. We bought some more crypto. Again, that's like, it'll happen, I guess, in the future down here. That's when that crypto transaction happened, but I just want to put it live on camera instead of coming back in a couple videos and saying, hey, here's what I did a couple weeks ago and stuff. I figured now that the market's actually dipping, it's a good time to talk about it live and actually just talk, you know, do those things on camera, do things live and stuff, instead of if the dip, you know, comes back or if it keeps going lower. I figured it wouldn't make sense to talk about it like a couple weeks after it happened. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that little different analysis in the beginning, a little bit of a different discussion, but that's my thoughts. That's where we're at. And yeah, pretty good day. Nothing to complain about. Got some more crypto hooked up, got some profits. I mean, dude, we're at a new peak balance. We're at $4,035. So that's the first time we broke 4,000, which is pretty sick too. So moving in the right direction. We're still a little bit behind the tracker. This is what we should be at in the challenge. We're about 120 bucks behind, but as long as we can keep doing what we're doing, I think we'll catch back up pretty easily, and we won't be We won't have to worry about anything. We'll be good. So we're still crushing it. 1 year later, man, 4Gs after starting off with $1. We're killing it. So we're gonna leave it at that though. Hope you guys did enjoy. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment with any thoughts or suggestions. And I guess, are you buying the dip? That's the question of the day. Are you gonna buy the dip? You buying some crypto? If you are, let me know what coins or cryptocurrencies you're considering. But yeah, join the Discord if you're already in there. And until the next time, take care of yourself. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.